Hello fellow colorists, welcome back to the channel, J.I. Colorist. My name is Jody and I am happy to have you here today to go over all of my completed pages and one craft for the month of June 2024. I am filming this on Friday, June 28th, and I will be posting it here on Sunday. So I hope everybody has had a wonderful June. I hope you had time to do a little bit of creative coloring and sit back and relax and grab a little bit of tea maybe, and we will get going on all of the items that I completed for the month. I have done one craft. It is a small diamond painting from Paint Gem, and it is from the Ocean Edition. I did a seahorse, and it's a square diamond. It's on shiny canvas, and yeah, I just thought it was cute, and I did a seahorse for the Celtic astrology animal for June, so I thought I would do the seahorse from the Ocean Edition from my Paint Gem collection. If you haven't heard of Paint Gem before, or you want to look into getting them, they have added quite a few new series, and they all come in this small kit, which is great for taking on holidays, and I will leave a link in the video description for 10% off if you use my code. All right, let's get going, and we will pull up my stats for the month. For June, we did 8 videos in total. So as I mentioned in my last video on Wednesday, I'm going to be reducing my number of videos likely to one a week. On Sundays I will be posting my weekly video. If I do have time and I can get more videos done, then of course I will also post on Wednesdays, but for sure there will be a video every Sunday. So in June I did 8 videos. I completed 16 pages, one craft, and that was what you just saw, the diamond painting. I participated in 9 hashtags, and quite a few of those were Color the Tarot hashtag, which I have been catching up on with the Happy Catastrophes channel. And I'd like to welcome 70 new subscribers and new colorists to our channel. Welcome, hello. So glad that you have joined the colorist community here, where we are very welcoming to everyone at all levels of coloring, and I just want to say hello and welcome. If you enjoy these type of videos and you enjoy seeing coloring, then by all means consider subscribing. I only ask once a month, and that is during this video. So with all of that, let's get into seeing what we've actually colored for the month. I have just completed the one full page of everything I kept track of, so we will do that. I just also want to quickly mention my plans for July. I did a complete video on that, but I am going to be doing one book July. I'm going to be using the book A Million Cute Animals by Lulu Mayo. I will still do my birthstone and animal videos for the month, but other than that I am keeping to the one book July, and I have 27 pages left in that book, so we'll see how many pages I get done. And you are welcome to buddy color with me on any of those 27 pages, and I'll refer you to the video that I talked about, and because I showed every single page that I have left to do in that book. So I'm excited about one book July, because I'm hoping that will also reduce some stress. I've got a lot of work in the garden to get done for the summer, and just keeping the acreage going and living with new people. So yeah, I think that I'm excited about one book July. And let's go and take a look at what I colored for the month of June. I am going to be doing them in order of size of books, so that we only have to change the camera angle as few as possible. So I'm starting with Amanda Kastner's A Small Adventure. This is a super tiny book, as you can see from my hand, and I just did this page here, and I'll tell you what I used. So in this page I used gelatos, and I also used my mechanical pencils, my 4 candies, and I also have been doing washi tape on the top and the bottom of this. So this whole book I've been adding borders for washi tape. So I did a little bit of washi tape on the top and bottom, and just gelatos and a little bit of gel pen. So I was just having a little bit of fun on this day, and when I want to just do a quick fun page, I will come to this book, and it just allows me to do, it's kind of like a small victory. It's a light hearted page, and pictures are just fun small pictures of this little tiny girl. So yeah, so that is the one that I did for June. And my next page, the next picture I did is a buddy color page with my friend from New Zealand, Nicky D. Nicky is on Instagram and does a ton of buddy colors with lots of people. So I will start off with Nicky's page. We did the lighthouse in a bottle page, and it was quite fun because she did hers as a night scene and I did mine as a day. So it was nice to have that difference there. So thank you very much, Nicky. Your page turned out adorable as usual, and I like how you completed it. It was really fun. So let's take a look at my page, and I am trying to make sure that I am not spending a lot of time doing backgrounds in this book, which is hard for me. And here is my page. So I did it more of a day kind of dusky scene, so you could still see the light, but it was definitely a day scene, while hers was a nighttime. And I used a little bit of tiny dual hybrid metallic on the fish underneath, so they're a little bit shiny there. I used glazed pen around the outside of the bottle, and otherwise I used my mechanical 4 candies pencils, and I also pulled out my Prismacolor pencils. So I used Prismacolor pencils on this, and I am trying to use mediums all month long that I haven't used a lot of. You tend to kind of always gravitate to the same mediums all the time, so I'm making an effort to use up all of my mediums and stash. So there's a little bit of shine where the glaze pen is, and that's another page done from Small Victories. And thank you again to Nicky for buddy coloring with me. The next page here is a page from Disney's Mini Block Portraits. It's a Hachette Heroes book, and I did the Beast, and I did this so that I could participate in Spicy Cat Colors, Spicy Cat Disney hashtag that she does. She picks a movie every month, and this time it was Beauty and the Beast. So this is my Beast picture, and I used a variety of markers. So I used my Studio 71 plus also some Copic Chow markers. I used a little bit of Jelly Roll green metallic around these. I wasn't sure what was coming out of his nose, so I kind of made it green. So yeah, we're not sure if it's just a bad smell or if he's got a bad cold, but there he is, and a little bit of white gel pen. And yeah, just had fun, and I had to look up all the colors for him. So this was my take on the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. And thank you to Kathy for having these fun hashtags. Otherwise, I don't really get to coloring in my Disney books very much. So thank you very much for that. All right, the next book, getting a little bit larger but still pretty small, is my first book for Rita Berman. I did 2 of her books this month, and this page was a double page spread, and it was a buddy color with my friend Cindy Visor. And Cindy is not quite done hers, but I'm going to go ahead and show you my page today, and then once Cindy is done, I will show her page probably next month. And it's no rush, Cindy, so I just appreciate you coloring with me every month. And so this is from the Rita Berman's book The Seasons, and we did this double page spread. So let me just make sure it's all there. And both of us decided that we would start using a color palette, and then once we were both coloring from the color palette, we decided that we both needed to add a few extra colors. So while we started with this color palette, we didn't make it mandatory that we stuck to it. So the color palette included salmon pink, lilac, yellow, sky blue, steel blue, and teal. But as you can tell, I added a little bit of brown here and there and a red so that I could get some of the picture colored exactly how I wanted. So there is a lot of mediums on this page, and I started with Neocolor 2, and I did the background and all of the water and the sandy area here. Then I got my gel pens out and I went to town. For the clouds, I used the Artex paint pens, and then to do the edges, like get rid of the black, and then I used a silver Signo gel pen. And sometimes I wasn't really happy with the opaqueness of the Artex paint pen, so then I used a metallic gel pen on top of that. So I've used quite a bit of metallic all over, adding some accents, and yeah, it was quite fun. A lot of Neocolor 2, like I said, all of these are Neocolor 2. So the majority of the page was done with that, and then I came in with some Prisma pencils to do a bit of shading at the end. A lot of gel pen here in the sea area. So yeah, a little bit of glaze pens here and there, and you did use the glossy accents for the eyes on the fish, and big eyes on this crabby guy here, and some glaze pens. So yeah, happy with how it turned out overall, but it did take a lot longer than I expected. So no wonder Cindy hasn't finished hers yet, because yeah, it looked like an easy page to start with, but there was actually a lot on here, and I'm happy with how it turned out. But yes, it was quite fun, but a lot of work. And I really like how I used all the different Uniball Signo gel pens to kind of do the accents. So there is that page, and that is from the book Seasons. And we will look forward to seeing Cindy's page in July. The next book, staying with the Rita Berman, is I did a page from Land Under the Microscope, and I did this page here for this month was also World Giraffe Month, or World Giraffe Day. So I decided to do a giraffe, and the background is actually a blue metallic gelato. And then I did, for the shading areas, I used pencils that I haven't used for a long time, which is the Colourist Woodless pencils. So they're not the watercolor ones, they're just the woodless ones. And I actually, one rolled off of my desk and fell on the ground and broke into 3, and I was just a little bit gobsmacked and heartbroken. So I actually took some crazy glue and glued it back together. So I'm hoping that works and lasts. But yes, so without the pencil, the wood casing, they are a bit more fragile than I thought. So note to self, I did use some triple thick for the eyes to make them glossy. I used Staedtler pigment pens, some Signo pink gel pen, and then just the greens and the blue in the Colourist Woodless pencils, colored pencils. So yeah, so again, using some supplies I hadn't used for a while, and I'm really happy with this, how this turned out. I just love giraffes. I think they're a very majestic animal, and I just had a little bit of whimsy with adding pink on him instead of, yeah, just a little bit of creativity there. And that is my second page from a Rita Berman book, and really, really happy. And I have located my Land Under the Water book, which I thought I had lost, but I now know where it is. So Land Under the Microscope. This is a book that I use periodically, and I use it during my gem series. So June had 3 birthstones, and I did this birthstone was demonstrating the pearl. So there is a complete video on how I color pearls, and I also did this page here. So I thought I would actually include it. I don't often include the page that I do, but yeah, this is the pearl page, and it is from the Cindy Clouter Gems Volume 2, and it's just a practice book. So there's practice things at the end of the page or the book, and then pictures that would have gems in them. So I used this to do the pearls. And yeah, so really happy with how these pearls turned out. I did plan on doing a video for both the Alexandrite and the Moonstone, which are alternate birthstones for June, but I just have not had the time. So if I can get to those in the future months, I will slip those into the series, but otherwise there. And this is a Coloring Bliss practice reference sheet that I got as a Bliss member at the time, so I just use that for references. The next book is A Million Llamas by Lulu Mayo, and it is also a book where I did a buddy color page in with my friend Cindy from Instagram. So Cindy and I have been doing buddy colors every month, and we're doing the checklist challenge as well together. So this page here is the llama in a forest of mushrooms, and we both had a difficult time kind of figuring out some of the items on the page itself. What was a tree, what was maybe clouds in the background. So here is Cindy's page. She did a great job, and she actually started her page a couple of times, and she ended up borrowing her daughter's book to redo her page, and I just love how it turned out. So thank you very much, Cindy. That was a great thing. I ended up doing using the color palette 84. So this is from the Sarah Renee Clark. This is for Amanda Colors Color Palette Challenge. So AC Palette Challenge. Card 84 included the colors Crimson, Mulberry, Magenta, Meadowlark, and Artichoke. So keeping those colors in mind, this is how my page turned out. I used the Staedtler pigment pens, and I also went and I am using the Prismacolor pencils, and I used those for shading, and also for some of the, like this llama here is just done totally in pencil. Definitely colors that are not my typical go-to, so it was actually quite fun to challenge myself on just using the colors from the palette on this page. So I am happy with how it turned out. Again, we weren't sure if these were clouds or trees in the background, so I kind of made it into the sky with just a whole variety of colors in it. I did also use a Signo gel pen in silver to add a bit of interest and some dots places. I did use some white glaze on the mushrooms to just make sure that the white stayed white and popped. But other than that, it's just yeah, silver gel pen on top of pencil and the Staedtler pigment pens. Now the Staedtler pigment pens do not bleed through. They are really a wonderful tool. They are similar to Pitt pens, but not quite the same. And yeah, really happy with them. I love how I was able to use the colors together to make some different shades. And yeah, so happy with how the page turned out. And thank you, Cindy, for buddy coloring with me on this page. It was a fun and interesting page in A Million Llamas by Lulu Mayo. Moving right along, our next book is Sea of Colors by Angela Gonzalez, and this is a group buddy color page or book that is being hosted by Amanda Colors. She picks a page through a community poll every month, and we are doing a page a month. Now, sorry about that. So this is the page she selected. I used palette 258 from So that's, again, this palette, I had it out and I was trying very hard to utilize just the colors in here, and I think it went fairly well this time. I did have to color outside than what I would normally color, which is the whole point of me using color cubes and color palettes, is for me to not color everything so literal. So I have a blue anchor, and I've got pink and yellow shrimp, and yeah, so happy with how this turned out. For the background, I did use some Spectrum Noir brush pens. I also used some triple thick glaze for the a couple of the eyes, so the 3 large eyes, and those make them shiny. What I did is, and I also used the Staedtler pigment pens and Prismacolor pencils, and there's some shine here, and that is from the Signo Spectrum Noir brush pens. So these brush pens here, and they've got little glitter shine in them already. So that was kind of fun. So it's quite a glittery page. And then once I was done, I wanted to have the jar that's underwater to be different. And so I decided to use my Recollections glitter paste. So I'll show you what that is. So using a palette knife and the Recollections glitter paste, I smeared a thin coating of it all over the jar, and so kind of looks a little bit like, goes on a little bit like sticky honey, and that's why I've got it covered with a piece of parchment paper, is because even though it's dried, it's still a little bit tacky, and so I don't know how long it's going to take for it to stop being tacky, but I don't want my pages to stick together. So there is bleed through on the back, but I don't care. It's a one-sided book. And yeah, happy with how this turned out. And I'll just remove the backing papers here and try and get it to show you the kind of the glitter effect that we got going. So it's quite shiny. Hopefully you can see that. But yeah, fun page. We are getting close to being, this is one of my 5 books to finish, and we are at 20 pages left to go in the book. So happy to have another page done. And I hope that it does stop being sticky at one point, but I really do like how the jar turned out. It does look like it's separate underwater, and there's a little bit of glitter to it. So thanks, Amanda, for hosting a fun hashtag, and we are getting close to being done this book. And on to the next page. Okay, this next few pages, because I have been coloring quite a bit in this book. I did take it with me when I went away for a funeral. This is Lulu Mayo's Kawaii Tarot coloring book. I am participating in the Happy Catastrophe Color the Tarot hashtag, and if you haven't checked her channel out, she has a great playlist of the Color the Tarot, and yeah, so I would suggest doing that. Let me just adjust the camera slightly. Okay, with the camera adjusted, you can see this is the page called the Hierophant, and I used my brand new, for all of the rainbows here, the new Sharpie acrylic paint pens, and it is the bullet tip that I have. I also used some pigment pens, the Staedtler pigment pens, and I also used my Polychromos pencils, some Pitt pens, some washi tape along the side, so there's a border on all of these, and this time I used some glittery white washi tape. And then for the clouds, I put some Winsor Newton iridescent medium over top of it, and then to get rid of the black lines on the clouds, I used my Uniball Signo gel pens. So yeah, so all of the cloud outlines, I went over them with the metallic Signo gel pen. And yeah, very happy with how it turned out. I used 4 different or 5 different blues, from a very dark blue indigo all the way up to a light blue with the polychromos, and then I blended that out with Gamsol so that it was and then for the columns, they're gray, and I used the pigment pens for that. But yeah, just tried to keep it bright and colorful. And we've got a green, a blue, and then a peach kind of cream colored unicorn with some gold sparkle highlights. So very fantastical kind of page, and I just tried to have some fun with it. So that's the first page. The next page is the lovers, and for this one I used my 4 Candies mechanical pencils, some Winsor Newton iridescent medium over like the ghosties. There's a bunch of little ghosties here, so they are a little bit shiny there. And the gold around here is actually metallic washi tape, so that was kind of fun. And the gold sun rays up here is my Dollar Tree glitter marker. Otherwise, I did just use the 4 Candies mechanical pencils, which I took with me while I was away. And yeah, so there's only 36 pencils in there, so you stick with a limited palette. But I really like how I got some really nice shading on these berries. And yeah, and then I thought this side, these would be flowers instead of leaves, because the leaves obviously there was like so I made them into flowers. And I definitely wanted this to be a boy and a girl bunny. I didn't want there to be any confusion, so I switched up my colors of bunnies, because normally I would do like a brown and a white one or something along that, but instead I made him gray with blue and then peach colored with pink. And that is the lovers. And the little ghosties are very cute. So, and the next one is the chariot. Again, I've used washi tape for the border. And I also used the 4 Candies mechanical pencils, some Signo gel, and some Staedtler pigment pens, and some Signo gel pens. So the Winsor iridescent medium I did over top of the pencil for here. And then this here is actually watercolor, and I used Inktense. So I used a few different colors of Inktense. Down here, this area all down here is the 4 Candies pencils, and then a little bit of Inktense on some of the lily pads, but not on very many of them. So yeah, but I just wanted there to be a little bit of shine in some of the, kind of like an eerie, like wherever he had gone before, maybe there was a little bit of magic left behind trailing him. So yeah, because these butterflies are supposed to be pulling this dude, so our frog man. So, and on all of the drums I put a little bit of Winsor Newton as well, so just when you move the page, there's just a little bit of interest there. But a very different take on this card, the chariot. So yeah, kind of made him a little bit of a night sky as well, but not super dark, because yeah, you're flying around without light, so I didn't want to be too dark for him. And this is my final page for this month. And last month I briefly talked about the fact that I had some really pretty ribbon that I didn't want to waste, so I ended up gluing it down and using it as washi tape for the border here. So it's yeah, it's green with gold, and I just thought it was kind of nice. The background here for this guy is polychromos, some Staedtler pigment pens. So the blue is all polychromos and blended out. We have some different, like we've got pigment pens down here, and then we've got the paint pens to cover up black lines. We've got a little bit of glaze and some gel pen and the Staedtler pigment pens. We've got the glossy accents on this guy's eyes just to make them really big and buggy, and some dual hybrid metallic. And I made all of the rainbows plus all of the planets kind of rainbow colors just to keep them all bright and fun. And yeah, and then I've got some glaze pens and also some gold gel pen for the actual wheel, so when you move the wheel it has some shine to it. So having a lot of fun, learning quite a bit about the tarot cards, and just getting them kind of caught up. So this was the current one for this month. Next month will be Justice, I guess, and I still have Strength to catch up and the Hermit. So those are going to have to wait for August, because One Book July is not this book. So yeah, thank you to Happy Catastrophe, Candice, for hosting this fun hashtag Color the Tarot. This next page I completed as part of my Zodiac Animals of the Year. There's a playlist on the channel, and every month I pick a animal that represents the zodiac symbol for that month. For Gemini, though, I was having a hard time locating an animal that I kind of wanted to do. So the Celtic zodiac actually has the seahorse as their animal for June, and also being twins, two seahorses, I thought that this page worked quite well. There again is a video on how I did the seahorses, and then at the end I just show you the completed background. So for the seahorses I used Inktense, and for the background I used mostly Inktense and Neocolor 2 with Staedtler pigment pens. And then for all of these areas along here I've used dual hybrid and Signo silver. So I used two different dual hybrids. I used the green and the blue, but when you put them down they ended up being the same, just because how they have the dual. So that was kind of cool. I also used the Viviva color metallic colors. So I used silver and I used a coral color, and I'll just grab those paints so you know what I'm talking about. So these are the paints. These are the Viviva watercolor set, and it's on a cork palette. It's the metallic set, and yeah, so I ended up using the orange sapphire and the silver. And again, this is all part of using up your stash and using what you own already. So yeah, I was happy to actually have found the colors that worked well for that. It was fun to use on the page. I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it kind of really pulled it in all together. I'm really happy with the whole result of the page. Yeah, I think that we learned quite a few facts during the video about seahorses, and I found seahorses quite interesting. As a child, I think we all saw the sea monkeys on the back of comic books and stuff, and you know, those were really actually seahorses. So yeah, I did use the glossy accents for the eyes, and really happy with all the colors, and I'm happy with how it the metallic just makes it kind of shimmer and shift when you move it. So yeah, so I hope you have a chance to check out this video, because there are videos every month. We've been doing a different animal, and this was the April one for the ram. So yeah, I'm enjoying having this book. It is by Stratton Peterson. They do have another book out, but I do not have that book. I am enjoying working in this book though. So that is my one page from Mystic Animals. Staying with the same size book before we have to move our camera is I finally got to a page in Nature's Sweet Moments by Jane Madej. This is a buddy color with the lovely Sherry Dennewitz. So I will put Sherry's page on screen first. And I love how Sherry used pink leaves and a really light sky. It was just fun. We did total opposite colors for a lot of it, including the fence. So it was really, I always find it fun and interesting when someone tackles a page totally different from how I do it, because it just shows the variety and versatility that you can get from coloring a picture. And that's the fun of buddy coloring. So thank you so much, Sherry. Your page is beautiful and I appreciate you coloring with me. And I'll show you my page. This was also for the hashtag Color Your Hoard. So June Color Your Hoard 2024, hosted by Lavelia. And this is my page. Now, I started with seeing this and I really wanted to use my flat ruler because again, I'm using things that I have purchased but haven't used. So the flat compass, it was something introduced to me by the Frugal Crafter. And so this is what it is. It's a flat compass. And I used it on here to draw the circle area here that I used for a gradient of a sunrise. So I thought I would do that just because I really wanted to use the compass. And the pencils that I used were the Polychromos, so my normal pencils, but then I also used Gelato's Spectrum Noir brush pens and some ink tints and then some gel pens. So the Gelato is the sky, and then I used Polychromos and the ink tints on the blue, a little bit of gel pen here. And then I did fence here quite dark, and then there's quite a few streaks in it, so I went with a pencil over top to try and get rid of some of those streaks. And yeah, it was quite fun. The Staedtler pigment pens are really, they're handy on my desk, so I keep them handy here, and really happy with adding those whenever I kind of need something. But it was definitely fun. For this, I used the ink tints, and then there's a little bit of silver gel pen in the flowers. So yeah, happy with how this page turned out, and I'm really happy to have touched this book because this was on my 5 books to touch, and this was the one book that I was able to get touched in the second quarter. So thank you again to Sherry for suggesting that we break this book out and get something done. Now the last book that I have is the largest book. So we'll adjust the camera one final time. Okay, that'll be close enough. This is Chris Rainiak's Morning Scribbles, Frogs and Friends, Volume 2. I purchased this volume in PDF form, and I did it to participate in Disney Meg's and Amanda Colours' Frogs and Friends Color Along. This was the page picked for June, and Amanda was calling it the skinny dipping page, which I thought was adorable. So I used the Spectrum Noir brush pens. I used some triple thick on just the highlights of the eye, and the rest you also, if you see any glitter, like there's glitter here and here, that is from the Spectrum Noir brush pens. I also used triple thick on the shocked little fishy guy there. I used Studio 71 markers for the green and Gelato's for the sun and the area down here, the water. Just a fun, simple page. I enjoy participating in the hashtag because they are cute pictures that you don't need to spend a whole lot of time on, but they are fun and enjoyable to do. So thank you, Amanda and Megan, for hosting a fun color along. And that is the end of the completed pages. Just a quick reminder that if you have this book in your collection and want to color along a page with me in my One Book July, I'd love to go ahead and buddy color with you. You can reach out to me on Instagram, my JI Colorist, or email me at jicolorist@gmail.com, and we can set up one of the pages that I have left to do. There are 27 to choose from, so I'm sure one of those pages are available to you if you so would like. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun today. I hope you had fun with your own coloring, and I hope you have a colorful and creative week. And I will see you in July. I hope you have an excellent summer, or if you're going into winter, a mild winter. All right. Take care, my friends. See you next month. Bye-bye.